So you want to conquer Annie's right, but you want to do it with more than just brute force.
We've come to the right place.
Yeah, we're going deep into the lore of the INIS board game.
That's right. It's not just about placing those clans. It's about stepping into a world of Irish myths and legends.
I am so ready for this.
Yeah. So INIS does a really great job of using those myths to shape the actual gameplay.
Yeah, it's not just about having the most warriors or anything,
Right,
right?
not at all. You've got multiple paths to victory, you know? You can become chieftain over other players' clans.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you can spread your influence by building sanctuaries, or you can just straight up, control territory through strategic expansion.
So like different ways to be powerful, just like in real life.
Exactly. It mirrors that kind of multifaceted nature of power.
Okay, so then we have these epic tale cards, right? And they're not just random actions, are they?
Oh, no, they're not. Each of these cards represents a specific myth or legend.
Okay. Alrighty, hit me.
Okay, we'll take the Diarmuid and Grain card, for example. This one tells the tale of a woman who's promised to one man but falls in love with another.
Ooh, drama.
Yeah, and it leads to this big chase across Ireland, and what's cool is in the game, this card lets you bring a new clan onto the board.
Oh, so it's like alliances are key.
That's right, even unexpected ones.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, they were key to survival and success back then.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so we've got love, we've got betrayal. What else is in store for us in this deep dive?
Okay, well, how about the Otherworld card?
Okay.
This one references Tir na Nog, which is like this mythical realm.
Anzi.
It's this land of eternal youth and joy where the gods reside, and in the game you can actually claim a sanctuary for free using this card.
So there's like a spiritual element to it.
Oh, absolutely. Sanctuaries had a huge spiritual significance.
Makes sense.
That sense of wonder and that belief in a world beyond our own, it really permeates so many of the myths.
I like that. Okay, let's get intense now. Give me something a little more on the edge of my seat.
All right. How about Balor's Eye?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Balor was this really fearsome king, and his eye, you don't want to look at it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it could literally kill with a glance. And so in the game, you can remove an enemy clan with this card.
Oh, wow. So it's powerful, but dangerous.
Exactly. There's that risk and reward element to it.
I like that. Okay, so we've got lovers, we've got mystical realms,
Yeah.
and a deadly eye. Who else should we be keeping an eye out for?
Well, no discussion of INIS lore would be complete without the Dagda.
Ooh, the Dagda. Who is this guy?
He's like this major figure in the Celtic Pantheon.
Big deal.
Oh, yeah. Often depicted as this kind of jovial but still powerful figure. You know?
Okay, I'm picturing like Celtic Santa Claus.
Yeah, but with a lot more clout.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
And you see him with some powerful artifacts in the game, like Dagda's Club, which can both destroy and restore life.
Oh, wow. So he's got that balance. You know?
Right. He's a balancer of life and death.
And that's really at the core of Celtic belief, isn't it?
It is. It's woven right into it. And then there's Dagda's harp. Yeah, it could control the weather and even influence battles.
That's amazing, controlling the forces of nature.
It is pretty epic.
It is. So the Dagda is all about responsible use of power.
Yeah. Using it for the good of the community, not for personal gain.
So is there anyone else sharing the spotlight with the Dagda up there in the power rankings?
Of course, we can't forget the Morrigan. She's often depicted as this goddess of war and fate.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah. And as a powerful protector, too, even said to be the Dagda's wife in some tales.
That's a power couple right there.
Oh, for sure. They probably threw some legendary feasts.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
But so a goddess of war and fate, that must add a layer of like unpredictability to the game, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. And you see that reflected in cards like the Morrigan's Ravens, which actually lets you manipulate the order of actions.
Oh, that could really mess with your opponents.
For sure, it's that reminder that even the best laid plans
Can be totally overturned.
exactly by fate or by, a well-timed intervention.
So it's not just about planning ahead, it's also about being ready for anything.
Adapting just like those ancient Celts had to?
Makes sense. Okay, I'm loving these stories. So we've got gods, we've got heroes, mystical realms, legendary warriors. What else is hidden within the lore of Ininkusunas?
Well, there's one card that I think really stands out, and it's called the Stone of Fel.
That sounds intriguing, like something straight out of Arthurian legend.
Well, it's steeped in Irish mythology, let me tell you.
Okay, lay it on me.
So the Stone of Fel, or Leafel in Irish, is said to have been brought to Ireland by the Tuatha De Danann.
Wait, are those mystical beings you talked about earlier?
The very same, and legend has it, that this stone could recognize the rightful High King.
So it's like a magic coronation ceremony.
Exactly.
So it's not just the people choosing, it's the stone itself.
Right. The stone would let out this roar when a worthy candidate approached.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a symbol of sovereignty and divine, right?
So how does it translate to the game?
So in INIS, the Stone of Fel card can completely change the course of the game. It lets a player immediately fulfill one of the victory conditions.
Oh my goodness.
It's like being granted the kingship.
So it's like the stone is choosing the ruler.
That's right. And it creates some very tense moments in the game. You know, imagine you're close to winning and boom, someone plays the Stone of Fel.
And everything changes.
Everything changes fate. Or maybe the ancient gods, they've got other plans.
I love that element of surprise. I'm really seeing how INIS goes beyond just a strategy game.
It really does. It blends those mechanics with this rich tapestry of myths and legends.
You said it, and it's not just entertainment, it's like a way to connect with the whole culture and history.
Exactly, and a way of thinking that's both ancient and surprisingly relevant today.
Okay, so before we wrap up this deep dive into the lore of INIS, what's the one thing you want listeners to take away from this?
I want them to remember that they're not just playing a game, they're stepping into a world shaped by imagination, history, and belief. Pay attention to the stories on those cards, consider the motivations of the characters, and maybe, just maybe, you'll hear the roar of the Stone of Fel.
Oh, I love that, chills. What a journey this has been. Thank you so much for guiding us through the myths and legends that really breathe life into INIS.
You're welcome, it's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive. Until next time, may the wisdom of the ancients guide your path, and may your games be filled with epic tales and strategic triumphs.
Yeah, so we've got lovers, we've got mystical realms, and a deadly eye. Who else should we be keeping an eye out for?
Yeah, who else is up there?
Well, no discussion of INIS lore would be complete without the Dagda.
Okay, the Dagda, fill me in.
He's a major figure in the Celtic Pantheon, often depicted as, you know, this jovial but powerful figure.
Okay, so like Celtic Santa Claus.
Yeah, but with way more power.
Of course.
And he's associated with some powerful artifacts in the game, like Dagda's Club, which can both destroy and restore life.
Oh, wow. So he can like take it away and bring it back.
Yeah, he's the balancer of life and death.
Oh, that's heavy.
And that's a core concept in Celtic belief. It's woven into so much of it.
I can see that. Okay, what else?
Well, then there's Dagda's Harp.
Dagda's Harp. What's that all about?
Yeah, it could control the weather and even influence battles.
Wow. Controlling the forces of nature. That's something else.
It is pretty epic.
It is. So the Dagda is all about using power responsibly, right?
Yeah, for the good of the community, not just personal gain.
So is there anyone else up there on that level with the Dagda?
Of course, we can't forget the Morrigan, often depicted as a goddess of war and fate.
Whoa, okay, here we go.
And a powerful protector, too. She's even said to be the Dagda's wife in some tales.
Oh, wow, that's a power couple.
Oh, for sure. They must have had some amazing feasts in their hall.
I bet. But a goddess of war and fate, I feel like that would add a layer of like unpredictability to the game, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you see that reflected in cards like the Morrigan's Ravens, which lets you manipulate the order of actions.
Oh, that's got to be frustrating for your opponents.
Oh, yeah, it can really disrupt their plans. It's a reminder that even the best laid plans, you know,
Can go awry.
exactly by fate or a well-timed intervention,
So you got to be ready for anything.
adapting just like the Celts had to.
That makes sense. So we've got gods, we've got heroes, mystical realms, legendary warriors. What else is hidden within the lore of INIS?
Well, there's one card that stands out, and it's called the Stone of Fel.
The Stone of Fel. That sounds intriguing. It's like something out of, Arthurian legend.
Well, it's steeped in Irish mythology.
Okay, tell me more.
So the Stone of Fel, or Lia Fail in Irish, is said to have been brought to Ireland by the Tuatha De Danann.
Wait, those mystical beings we talked about?
The very same ones, and legend says this stone could recognize the rightful High King.
Whoa, so like a magical coronation ceremony.
Exactly.
So it's not the people choosing, it's the stone itself.
That's right. When a worthy candidate approached, the stone would roar.
That's incredible.
It became a symbol of sovereignty and divine, right?
Wow. So how does that play out in the game?
In INIS, the Stone of Fel card can completely change the game. It allows a player to immediately fulfill one of the victory conditions.
Oh, wow.
It's like being granted the kingship.
So it's like the stone is choosing you.
It really is, and it creates some tense moments. You know, you think you're close to winning, and boom, someone plays the Stone of Fel.
And it's all over.
Everything changes fate, or the ancient gods have other plans.
I love that element of surprise. I'm really seeing how INIS is so much more than just a strategy game.
It goes beyond that, blending those mechanics with this rich tapestry of myths and legends.
You got that right. It's like a connection to a whole culture and a history.
Exactly, and a way of thinking that's ancient but still relevant today.
Okay, so before we wrap up this deep dive into the lore of INIS, what's the one thing you want listeners to take away?
Remember, you're not just playing a game. You're stepping into a world shaped by imagination, history, and belief. Pay attention to the stories, consider the motivations of the characters, and maybe you'll hear the roar of the Stone of Fel.
I love that, Chills. What a journey. Thank you so much for guiding us through the myths and legends that make INIS come alive.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive. Until next time, may the wisdom of the ancients guide your path, and may your games be filled with epic tales and strategic triumphs.
So we've got gods, we've got heroes, mystical realms, legendary warriors. What else is hidden within the lore of INIS?
Yeah. What else have you got up your sleeve?
Well, there's this one card that really stands out. It's not just for its powerful effect, but for what it represents, you know?
Okay, I'm listening.
It's called the Stone of Fel.
The Stone of Fel. Okay, that sounds pretty epic, like something out of Arthurian legend, you know?
It's got that kind of vibe. It's definitely steeped in Irish mythology, though, let me tell you.
Okay, so tell me about the Stone of Fel.
So the Stone of Fel, or Leofeil in Irish, it was said to have been brought to Ireland by the Tuatha De Danann.
Those are the mystical beings, right? The ones we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Those guys. And the legend has it. This stone had the power to recognize the rightful High King.
Wow, so it's like a magic coronation ceremony?
Yeah. It is like when a worthy candidate would approach this stone, it would let out a roar signifying the right to rule.
Oh, wow. Talk about a vote of confidence.
Right, it became a symbol of sovereignty and divine right in Irish culture.
That's huge. So how does that play out in the game?
Well, in INIS, the Stone of Fel card, it can completely change the course of the game. A player can immediately fulfill one of the victory conditions.
Whoa, hold on. So they just win like that?
Pretty much. It's like being granted the kingship.
So it's like the stone itself is intervening, choosing the ruler.
You could say that, and it makes for some crazy tense moments. Like, imagine you're so close to winning, and then boom, someone plays the Stone of Fel.
Oh, that's brutal.
It's a game-changer fate. Or maybe the ancient gods have other plans.
I love that it's like a wrench in the works, keeps things exciting. So the Stone of Fel, it's not just a card, it's like this representation of destiny, you know?
Exactly. And I think that speaks to what makes it, so special. It's not just about strategy, it's about embracing the unexpected, those twists and turns.
Just like the ancient Celts had to, right?
Absolutely. They had to contend with the whims of fate and the gods.
It all comes full circle. I love it.
So, you're not just playing a game. You're stepping into this world shaped by imagination, history, and belief.
It's an experience. It's not just a game.
And it's not just about fantastical creatures and epic battles. It's about leadership community, the balance of power, the power of belief.
Those are themes that resonate with us even today.
They do.
Wow, what a journey this has been. I feel like we've only scratched the surface of this world.
There's so much more to explore.
There is. Well, thank you so much for guiding us through these myths and legends that bring INIS to life.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all our listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the lore of INIS. Until next time, may the wisdom of the ancients guide your path, and may your games be filled with epic tales and strategic triumphs.
From my stone walls I see those who come and go, different flags unfurled. Oh, they seek the throne. They gather at my door like those who came before. Sacred ground of INIS, where clans come to be. Sacred ground of INIS sets their spirits free. Oh, INIS, oh, INIS. 6 small territories paint the island green. Some pray for peace here, some want to be king. They gather at my door like those who came before. Watch them draft their cards, playing out their parts. Some seek land to rule, some build sanctuaries, but wisdom shows the way. In my sanctuary, time moves like the tide. Every season brings new stories to stride. Sacred ground of INIS, where clans come to be. Sacred ground of INIS sets their spirits free. Oh, sacred ground of INIS, sacred ground, sacred ground, sacred ground of INIS. We are bound, we are bound.